Hey guys, welcome to another tutorial in the set of tutorials on creating Tetris within Minecraft using Blockly. And in the last tutorial I had challenged you guys to create this getLocations function that was being demoed in my little test main function that I have running right here. And I asked you to, or I challenged you to support just an I block. So we want the locations of the I block. Okay, and so in the getLocations function last time I also mentioned that we have this temp drone being set. And this is important because we don't really have to do this, but we don't want to have to worry about returning this cursor drone back to its original location once we move it around and return all these different locations. So, and I'll kind of explain a little bit more why in a second, but let's pretend our block type is I, as we're calling the getLocations function. So, why don't we just follow along with it? So, okay, so we're defining blocks, defining orientations, setting a cursor drone to a new drone. And then we're getting locations with the cursor drone, L, and block orientation. Alright, so let's see, to get location, so it's an L block. So looks like the block type is going to equal L, right? For when we call it. So we're getting the L locations. Here's our L locations. We can move them off to the side here. So the L locations, what's happening here is it's narrowing down the block orientation. So in the big getLocations here, it's narrowing down the block type and then calling a specific getLocations and returning that with the block orientation. So it's calling get specific block, whether it's L, O, J, whatever, with the block orientation, and then it's returning the locations that returns. So ultimately, this function here is going to return a location list, which, when returned here, is going to be returned once again to the main level at this point. Okay, so the getLocations, which essentially works exactly the same as the I locations, which is what I asked you guys to support in the little challenge that I made, which may as well bring this over. So you can see it's kind of analogous, sort of the same process. So the first step in this process is to narrow down the block orientation. And it looks like I have it set up pretty simple. It's not even else if, it's just if block orientation is upright, then we're doing different things to this location list that I've created in the beginning. So we have a location list, and depending on the block orientation, we're moving the temp drone in different directions, and we're inserting locations of the temp drone. Okay? And it's actually very, very simple stuff if you understand drone movement and, just drone movement, and understand that you can take a drone's location as a variable. It's very, very simple. So I guess may as well just follow along. So here's an L block that's upright. Let's make sure that this matches with this one. So an L block that's upright, what we're doing here is we're moving our temp drone in the direction up one distance and then right two distance. So let's refer back. So up one distance and right two. So we have this block here. Now, up, right 2, and then we're inserting that first location. Then we're moving left, and we're repeating to insert a location and move up 3 times. Okay, so we're placing a block here, and then we're repeating this 3 times. So we're moving it up, and then we're placing another block, moving it up, placing a block, and moving it up. So that temp drone ends up right here. And so you can see if we didn't set that temp drone that we have here, then our cursor drone would essentially end up right here in that case, which we don't want. So we want our cursor drone to stay in that bottom left-hand corner of that reference box. Okay, so that should give you enough understanding to duplicate for all the different kinds of blocks and all the different orientations. And you can take a screenshot of this or pause the video at this reference sheet, or you can visit this URL here and check this reference sheet. This URL, they're showing you how to do Tetris in JavaScript, and I'm just using it for the this reference sheet here. That's all I'm using it for. Okay, so you can refer to this reference sheet, and the challenge now is to add all the different block types, support all the different block types, and test all the different block types with all the different orientations in your getLocations function. Okay. So remember, it's not actually drawing for you. We'll do that next. It's just getting locations, and then in your main test function, you're just repeating for each item in your list that's getting returned in the location list, and then you're placing the blocks. Alright, so in the next tutorial, we'll just go over that one more time in terms of demo. So I'll show you the function output that you should be getting, and then we'll go over wrapping this so that you can do it like a draw function and an erase function.